Thanks, Coach.
Don't you? How do we start this thing off?
You sit down and do opening statement.
Okay. Oh, God, I know this one was on Monday.
We'll brief statement from Coach, and then we'll go to questions. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Really excited. I believe we came out of that completely healthy. I'll check with the trainers later on. I thought there was some hitting going on, even though the music was playing kind of loud. There were some shots out there that I was excited to see. It's been a very physical spring, and it's good to get everybody, what seems to be like healthy out of the spring game and moving on to the summer and then on to the fall. Questions?
Steven?
You chatted with my friend Brent Axe earlier in the week and said that Rex Culpepper came to you and asked to play in the spring game, and you told him no. What happened between that conversation and now that led you to kind of give him that moment, which turned out to be so special?
Well, I didn't want him to get hurt. That's basically the same thing. And let's put it like this. He went out there and he threw the ball around a little bit, but the other 21 guys were under strict orders not to get close or else. So, but it was good. It was a good moment for him.
Yeah, Andrew.
Obviously, Tommy DeVito gets out there, goes out with the ones with Eric not playing. What were your overall impressions with his performance?
I really can't even recall it. When I'm out there, I'm looking at everything that's going on. I'm looking at hits. I have a whistle to make sure that if anybody looks like they're in a dangerous position, that I'm going to blow the whistle. If you're really on top of a football game, the whistle doesn't blow until after the play stops. So I'm out there with a whistle that's live, that if I anticipate or I think I see an injury about to occur, I will blow the whistle. And that's how our guys are trained, obviously, to stop on the whistle. So there's a lot of times there's a lot of whistles going on in spring games that you would never hear in a real football game because the play is always live and continuous. So I really can't recall much. I need to get back and look at the tape.
Why no Eric tonight?
I've seen him. He's had an unbelievable spring. We've got so many quarterbacks that we've got to get in the dome. You know, we've got guys that are doing some good things in practice, but we don't know how they're going to do it in front of a crowd. We don't know how they're going to function in the dome. This is the first time we've been in the dome all spring. We've had tractor pulls and dirt things and dirt piles and all that other kind of stuff going on in here, which is fine. But it was an opportunity to see these guys underneath the lights. We've seen Eric so many times there. We know what he's going to do, so we wanted to give those other four quarterbacks some turns.
No setback for him?
No, not at all. He can go.
Yeah,
a lot of nickel defense tonight and kind of two linebacker sets. Is that something you guys are looking at kind of going into the fall, play that a little bit more often?
Just depends on the personnel groups. We were in a lot of 10 and 11 personnel. Anytime you get a lot of 10 and 11, you're going to get a bunch of nickel. So it was just based off the personnel groups the offense was throwing out there.
Mario?
Coach, what message do you think you gave the fans today?
I don't know. I mean, I hope they saw something a little bit different. I think they got a taste of a lot of different types of things that we're trying to do. I thought it was good on both sides, offensively and defensively. I think you saw a little bit of the kicking game. I think people believe we have a punter. They better believe. And I think we've got some kickers that can make some field goals. So our snappers were right on. I thought it was a complete look.
Matt?
Coach, Dante Strickland ran the ball pretty hard, and now that he's an upperclassman, is this a guy you're going to rely on to obviously steer the offense here coming up this season?
You know, I was excited about Dante. He got banged up during our physical week, and you're talking about a guy that's been the starting tailback basically for 2 years here. I mean, and he could have tapped out of this thing and, hey, Coach, I'm done for the spring, and that's not what he did. He got in the training room 3 times a day. He got healthy, and he ran with his brethren, you know, in the spring game, which you see a lot of seniors wouldn't do, and he did it. And he made some plays out there. I think that not only did he run hard, but I thought there were some holes out there. Now, please understand, I'll say this, almost the entire spring we've been going ones versus ones, which is really risky because when you have 22 starters out there, you get 2 or 3 guys hurt, they're all starters. Now, in the spring game, we went 1 offense versus 2 defense and 2 offense versus 1 defense, which eliminates the ability to have so many people getting hurt that are starters on play A or play B. So what you were seeing against was the 1 offensive line going against the 2 defense. But there were some holes out there, and I thought the offensive line did a nice job.
Kate, in the back.
Hey, Coach. Coach, just speaking of the offensive line, how much have they improved in terms of their physical and just mental strength right now?
Oh, they look totally different. They absolutely look totally different. I mean, they're thick, they're filled out. We're not deep. We don't have a lot of depth. But I think we can put 5 to 6 guys out there, and if we can, I don't even want to say it because I don't see any wood, if we can figure out a way to keep those guys together, I think we're going to be okay. But it's very difficult to do, especially with that group. And what normally happens, you get an injury with that group, it's normally a long injury and not a short injury. Our first year, we had a whole bunch in that group. Our second year, we really didn't. We kind of came out okay. We could make it. We lost Aaron, but we survived during the season. And then this year, we need to do the same thing. We need to have an injury season with the O-line like last year and not like our first year. Good question.
Matt?
Coach, the overall vibe of the spring game, did you like it? And what would you like to see improved on next year?
Yeah, I really don't get into that. I mean, outside that, obviously that you would love to see more people there. But you know what? I thought it was a decent crowd for 7 o'clock on a Friday with a 1 and a 3 in it. There's some superstitious people out there. Maybe they don't want to come out of the house. I get it. And next year, maybe it can be on the 12th or the 14th or something like that, and we can get a bigger crowd.
Steven?
A bunch of guys who didn't go tonight. Anyone you're particularly concerned about long term? Richards, Nakeem, Sherrod.
Sherrod will be fine. He'll come back. Nakeem, who was the other one?
Nakeem and Tyrell Richards.
No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine, yeah. We're just being cautious with all those guys. They'll all be back in the summer.
Time for 2 more questions. Andrew?
Obviously, trying to replace Ish and her from last season, a lot of different pass catchers getting involved tonight. Do you think, is there anybody you were looking to separate or any guys who you thought were kind of hot coming into this game, or sort of how your feelings on the receivers?
No, I don't really believe so. But it's the funny thing about this offense. I remember when we first started in 2012, we thought we had one receiver, Eric Laura, and we didn't have anybody else our first season. And then our second season, a young man by the name of Adam Drake that went to the Kansas City Chiefs at Eastern Illinois came on and had a fantastic year. When we were at Bowling Green, we had the first year that I forgot my New York Giants guy. He's going to kill me when he sees Roger Lewis. The first spring with Roger, we thought Roger was okay. We didn't think he was great. And then from spring to the summer, he developed so much, it was unbelievable. And by the time he came back from that summer, the first year, he was the Roger Lewis that that's playing in the league. We played 1 year with Roger, and then the second year we had Garrett Dieter came on and had a fantastic year for us. Same thing happened here. We didn't think we had anybody, and then all of a sudden, Amba came from nowhere. Ish kind of had an okay year, and then boom, Ish comes from nowhere. So what happens, make a long story short, these guys learn what we want, and they go in the summer and they keep practicing, and they work on the timing with the quarterbacks. And then every year that we've been in this offense, somebody pops up that you really don't know about, or someone that's here all of a sudden turns into something that you never thought he was going to blossom into, and you end up having enough wide receivers to do the things that you need to do. And I'm going to keep the faith that someone's going to pop up over the summer, and we'll be just fine out there.
Final question, Steven?
Do you think Ravian could take over some of that production from Lefty last year?
I think that there's a fantastic group of tight ends. I think Ravion, you did say Ravion. I believe Ravion and Hackett and Connors, I think all those guys are really good tight ends, and I think that group is going to give us some flexibility and some different formations that we may be able to do some things and surprise some people. So we're excited about where that group is at, but just like the wide receiver group, they have to continue to develop over the summer. If they stay exactly where they're at right now, both groups, they won't be good enough. But with the development over the summer, they can turn into the things that we really want them to be.
What's the biggest thing you want to see Ravian get better at?
I don't like to single out one thing. I thought that I just got through talking to Ravion before I came off the field. I thought that his out and up move on the goal line with Rex Culpepper is one of the best routes I've ever seen. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So, let's be consistently good, not occasionally great. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you.